This month's Light Logic tip is raising our awareness around business or busyness versus monetizing mindfulness. It's a choice, and choice stands for creating how open-minded I can explore. Isn't it interesting that we have called what we do in our global community of exchange for goods and services business? It's truly reflective of the pace, busyness. Have we tended to create a hierarchy of importance for those who are seemingly busy, as if there is something noble and statuesque in that space? Has stillness and contemplation taken a back seat? Which makes more sense for you, busyness or mindfulness? Which is ultimately more productive and supportive of your state of well-being? Your answer will depend on which side of your brain through which you are dominantly perceiving. Another way to put it is, who's leading? Are you taking intuitive guidance from a trustworthy place, such as your heart, and allowing your brain to implement? Or are you living more from an intellectual mindset, a kind of, quote, have-to mentality? Just notice that. Which mindset is more satiating internally? Which mindset monetizes more? Or should I say, which mindset do we believe satiates more? Living in a society where the predominant vibration and definition of, quote, I want more is changing, and keeping up with the Joneses is dissipating, and I want more is beginning to stand for the acronym in integrating willingness and noticing truth mirrors optimal realities explored. Integrating willingness and noticing truth mirrors optimal realities explored. In order to integrate willingness and notice our internal truth, we might want to give ourselves the opportunity to slow down, even if it's just for a few minutes a day. Tune into ourselves, get acquainted, and then not only will we naturally gravitate towards people, places, and things that resonate truly for us, but opportunities will flow to us effortlessly. Isn't that interesting? That we will be operating on a kind of frequency that draws to us, that magnetizes to us the things that we desire without putting out exhaustive energy. We are actively participating in the creative aspect of an optimal world for ourselves personally, professionally, and ultimately globally. We all are a component of it. I like to redefine words to create new associations because former associations have such a rote definition for me that I create new ones to have a fresh look at the world. And associations that support an uplifting, supportive mindset helps us to carve out a deliberate pathway of our own personal, delightful design. I call it deliberately designing delight. And if you take the DE off of deliberately designing delight, it stands for liberating signs of light. I call it word wealth, this redefinition of associations, because people respond to the way in which a message is delivered, both professionally and personally. We can put out the same message in an infinite number of ways. People, whether it be your clients, friends, family members, will tend to feel inspired to take action the more they are able to feel into the possibility of the express delivery. And the contrary is a sense of deflation or procrastination. It's the same thing for our clients. Everybody has a relationship with money, whether they admit to it or not, unless they're living in the backwoods and have no contact with the outside world whatsoever. The topic of money, which I like to refer to as abundance, or the lack thereof, is loaded with emotional ties. So just for today, let's redefine money in a way where we can create a unification. So I took money as an acronym, and the word wealth redefinition of it is market overtures, noticing expressive you. Market overtures, noticing expressive you. So money in and of itself is meaningless. Just stay with me here. It's neither good nor bad. It's a tool. Most people have a relationship with money. It is the properties that we assign to it that gives it power. Our relationship with money is tied to some sort of emotion and offers us the privilege, the visceral external experience, to witness an aspect of our internal world. In other words, it's mirroring on the outside what we're thinking, feeling, and believing on the inside. It is from that witnessing or observation that we might develop a heightened awareness and activate choice for our future. Again, choice meaning creating how open-minded I can explore. So collectively, we have agreed for now, as a global community, to utilize money as a tool. If money ceased to exist, though, what would we have left to put forth in the world? It would simply be our character, our integrity, our intention. Money, or their lack of, can be at times a symbolic, reflective, external gesture of how openly, confidently, self-assuredly we are willing to express our authenticity and love. It's not always, but it can be, because very often our beliefs around money either keep us a little bit hindered or propels us forward. Let's make it for the creative change towards unilateral love, freedom, abundance, and empowerment. Use it towards the things, people, causes, and ideas you cherish most and want to see perpetuated. Because when we do that, we are coming from that internal organic place. And it's fun, it's lighthearted, it's something that we believe in, and so it will allow money to flow to us that much more effortlessly. But let's just say for a moment that it's easy to say that money is meaningless from an esoteric or symbolic perspective. But if you're living in a state of lack of abundance, that statement can provoke quite a reaction. If you are someone or know someone or are looking at people in the world that do not have what they, quote, need, i.e. food, clothing, and shelter, it might trigger an emotional response. What is that response inside of you? Do you feel a sensation or emotion? Is it fear that it could be you? Do you feel guilty? Do you feel undeserving to have the lifestyle that you have? Is it a relief that it is not you? Is it compassion, sadness, pity, a sense of responsibility, or none of the former stated? Does it trigger generosity in you? Interesting to explore. It's also okay if you don't have any reaction. There's no judgment here. Maybe we look the other way. Does that make us, quote, bad people? Of course not. We all have emotional responses to things, and sometimes the lack of a response is actually a response. Because emotions are the fuel behind our thoughts. Emotions are the key to everything. They are the key to being successful. They are the key to feeling successful. They are the key to your family members, friends, and clients taking inspired action. And they are also the key to your friends, family members, and clients feeling deflated and procrastinating. Together, emotions and thoughts hardwire themselves into beliefs. For example, think of thoughts like an electromagnetic field flowing far and wide through the air. So think of thoughts, sending out these messages, but think of it as air. Thoughts are air, and there's no delineation or differentiation in air. It all mixes together, right? And think of emotions, emotion, energy moving, like the wind. And wind can be a very gentle breeze, or it can be like a strong gust. So the wind and the level of its intensity is equated to the intensity of the emotions. And the stronger your emotions, the more intense that wind, the more it pushes the air, and the more it has an impact on objects. So your emotions, that you back up your thoughts, really can hardwire a belief system into your mind, body, and spirit. Just like wind, you might not be able to actually see the wind, just like you might not actually be able to see your emotions, but you know where it has been based on its strength and its intensity. Depending on how intense and pervasive the emotion is that you have backing up that thought, will determine how much you believe it and call forth its actualization into fruition. This is how we carry information out into the world. We have been living in a world where most people tend to perseverate on enoughness in some aspect of their lives. How much is enough? I want more. Integrating willingness and noticing truth mirrors optimal realities explored, going within. What people are beckoning within the quiet recesses of their minds and what is collecting in our global community is a quest for enrichment and feelings associated with affirmative declarations such as, I and you are important. You and I are significant. You and I are valuable. You and I are trustworthy. You and I are deserving. You and I together are worthwhile contributors. You and I are very lovable. You and I both together aim to create a relationship and a connection. You and I together both want to foster a sense of belonging and feeling part of for more and more and more. I trust you and you trust me. I value you and you value me. We are both open to seeing the loving light in one another. We are both seeing the contribution and the value we each have to offer. We all want to offer something. We all want to be contributory. It's the life pulse, the breath of our world. We both believe on some level that we are worthy of an abundant world, and we want to accelerate and expand that belief system for ourselves and for others. And as more and more people attune to their inner light, listening internally guides happiness today. That's what light is. Listening internally guides happiness today. It will collect, and we will see more and more changes to the manner in which busyness is conducted. It's already happening. There will be more and more mindfulness. More and more mindfulness activities incorporated into the fabric of society, incorporated into business. Instead of economizing, we will be prosperitizing. It is happening now, and the ship has sailed, and the ship signifies hope in progress. So there's some exercises in the blog, but I'm going to take you through a brief mindfulness exercise that you can do right now before your next client comes in, before you meet with a family member about an important discussion. So allow yourself to settle yourself in a comfortable place where there will be no interruptions. You can sit with your spine straight up, your feet firmly on the ground, or you can lie down. It's only going to be a few minutes, and it will help to clear your mind. I invite you to allow your eyes to close gently and place the tip of your tongue on the roof of your mouth. This will activate your parasympathetic nervous system to release tension and stress. It supports a calm while activating an ease, a flow. As you settle down into your physical body, we will create a stillness, a spaciousness, and a silence so that we might tune into our intuitive inner mind. that part of us that knows all, that holds the solutions, the brilliance, and the luminous loving light that exists within. And to ground that knowingness into the right here, right now, place your right hand on your heart and your left hand on your abdomen. Begin to feel into the beat. Feel into the pulsation of your heart. Experience the awe of how it knows what to do and when to do it. Your own personal, authentic, earthly expression, your contribution, is as natural as the cycle of your heartbeat and your breath. Effortlessly, synchronistically, and in harmonious balance with all that you are. Pure, positive energy, following your purity and your unconditional, luminous, loving light energy. Now shift your attention to your breath. Focus on its flow, its temperature, its depth. Just begin to notice its rhythm, its cadence. Nothing to do, nothing to change. Simply know that the oxygen you are absorbing, the oxygen that is riding the wave of your breath, see through your inhalation, that effortless thing you do, that there is a carriage of all kinds of nutrients, sustenance, and life force to every part of your body. And through your breath, there is a masterful infusion of rejuvenation, revitalization, and replenishment circulating throughout your body. All cells of your body are in a co-creative communication with one another. Each cell is a microcosm interacting with other parts of you, and you are an entity full of interactions and communications with others. As you exhale, you are releasing, contributing, offering, and giving back to the space, the area, the room, the environment, the space that you are in. There's an ebb and a flow, taking in all there is and offering your earthly expression of yourself. The breath is our ride on the wave of life. Your heartbeat is your grounding force. They are built-in mechanisms by which we allow all the ease that is our birthright to come forth.